Active noise cancelling has quickly become one of the most sought-after features in wireless headphones, and we've already seen tremendous success with this tech in devices like Sony's best-in-class M3 headphones, and now even in true wireless earbuds like Apple's AirPods Pro. ANC is a big part of what makes these flagship products great, but also quite expensive. As the technology develops in these premium products, it trickles down into more affordable devices too, and there's now a great range of noise-cancelling headphones to choose from. Today we'll be looking at two of Amazon's best-selling ANC headphones, Tribit QuietPlus and TaoTronics SoundSurge 55, which are both available for under $100. These initially caught my attention, not just for offering noise cancelling at a relatively low cost, but for having premium features like fast charging, haptic support, and multi-device pairing, which even a lot of flagship headphones still don't have. I've been using these headphones for the past few weeks to determine exactly why these headphones are so popular, and how effective noise cancelling is in a pair of budget headphones. In this in-depth review, we'll also be comparing all of their specs and features to determine which of these headphones offers better value for your money. Let's take a look. First of all, I want to start with each of their carry cases, because both headphones come with hard shell cases to protect them. Tribit's case is oval-shaped, and has a smooth, soft-touch finish. It has a relatively cheap Velcro pocket inside to store the paperwork and cables, and the hard shell offers really good protection for the headphones, but the design is quite bulky. The SoundSurge case by comparison is much larger but also flatter, which I think will make it easier to pack into a bag. This is also a hard shell design, offering good protection, and has a mesh pouch on the inside for the accessories and an elastic strap to keep the headphones secure. I think this has a nicer finish on the outside too, which doesn't attract as many fingerprints and feels more high quality. The headphones have similar designs. Both are made from a relatively cheap plastic and have a matte black finish, but I think I prefer the slightly lighter and more metallic finish on the SoundSurge 55, which helps give them a more premium look. The designs are pretty minimal, but we do get some nice reflective logos. There was a little bit of creaking in the headbands, but the hinges feel reasonably sturdy, and the overall build quality is good enough that both headphones feel as though they're built to last. They each offer a good amount of extension to suit all head sizes, though the mechanism was a little tough with the QuietPlus, and much smoother on the TaoTronics headphones. The biggest difference in the design is the QuietPlus have a traditional folding design, but the SoundSurge have the benefit of rotating ear cups, which allows them to fold down flat and therefore pack into the flatter carrying case. This rotation also gives you flexibility with getting them comfortably positioned on your head, although there is limited pivoting movement here. The Tribit ear cups, though not able to rotate, offer much more movement with pivoting and tilting, so you can still adjust the ear cups independently from the headband to improve comfort. The controls and ports are all located on the right ear cups, and the layout is slightly different. For the Tribit QuietPlus, we have the USB-C charging port, a 3.5mm headphone jack, a switch to turn on noise cancelling, and finally the volume keys and a multi-function power button. On the TaoTronics SoundSurge, we have the headphone jack, a USB-C charging port, the volume keys, and then separate buttons for noise cancelling and the multi-function power button. Tribit's raised volume keys make them a little easier to distinguish, but they also sit quite high up on the ear cup, a lot higher than where I naturally reach for them, so that's something to adjust to. The switch is a faster way to turn on noise cancelling though, but there's a good reason why this is a button for the TaoTronics SoundSurge, which we'll see later on. The ear cup shapes are quite different too, with a traditional rounded style for the TaoTronics and a narrow, more ergonomic shape for the Tribit headphones. They have almost identical padding to the headband, but on the ear cups, the QuietPlus have soft yet robust padding, whilst the SoundSurge padding is thicker and more plush. There's also some padding on the inside of the SoundSurge ear cups, which helps with comfort since the ear cups are relatively small, so my ears were touching the inside. The inside isn't padded with Tribit's QuietPlus, but there's a little bit more space for your ears, and since the padding is tougher, this stops your ears from touching the inside anyway. Neither sets of ear cups are especially spacious, so your ears aren't really allowed to breathe and do get quite warm after an hour or so. especially with the SoundSurge 55. It's almost as though the QuietPlus are an over-ear design, but the SoundSurge are an on-ear design, so you have a bit more room with Tribit's headphones. I think you'll notice the weight difference when wearing these too, and the QuietPlus generally feel lighter and airier. The other point about comfort is that the clamping force is a bit tighter with the TaoTronics headphones, which I think is due to the arc in the headband, and you can see that this is narrower than with Tribit's QuietPlus. This isn't especially painful though, but I think with both headphones, you'll notice this pressure, again after an hour or so of wearing them. A result of the thicker padding and tighter seal with the TaoTronics headphones is that there's a greater amount of passive noise isolation. Both pairs of headphones do a good job of blocking out external noise simply by sealing off your ear, but this is more effective with the SoundSurge 55. For the same reason, the sound leakage was a bit worse with the QuietPlus headphones, but to be honest, there's a bit of leakage with both of them, and in a quiet room, the person sitting next to you will likely be able to hear your music, so that's something to be aware of. So now getting into the active noise cancelling, the performance is very similar between these headphones, which makes it a bit easier to explain how well this works. If I'm being completely honest though, I really struggle to notice the difference when I turn noise cancelling on. Almost all of blocking the outside noise is done passively, and the ANC technology in these headphones is just nowhere near the quality of the higher end options. There's maybe a slight muffling or slight reduction to the general volume. In other words, your surroundings do become quieter with noise cancelling turned on. But this doesn't deliver a substantially different or better experience than a regular pair of headphones, and I'm not sure you'll be able to tell a huge difference with your music playing, whether it's turned on or not. I should say that when you're listening to music, the passive noise isolation does such a good job that a lot of unwanted sound is blocked out anyway. But for those who wanted to know specifically about the ANC performance, I wanted to make it clear that these are far from the level of the more expensive models. Of these two pairs of headphones, I'd say the SoundSurge 55 block out slightly more sound, so these would be the winner in terms of noise cancelling performance. There is an audible hiss with noise cancelling turned on, with both headphones too, and this is pretty common to see on the cheaper models. Another point to note is that you can use noise cancelling with the headphones turned off, which is something a lot of the flagship models don't let you do. This might be useful if you just want to block out noise without listening to music, or if you're using the headphones with a wired connection rather than Bluetooth, so that's a nice added bonus. Now I mentioned earlier that the SoundSurge 55 use a button for ANC rather than a switch like the QuietPlus headphones, and that's because there are actually 3 different listening modes. You press and hold the ANC button to turn it on or off, and then each single press will cycle through the 3 modes. Office mode reduces super low frequency sounds, travel mode reduces medium to low frequency sounds, and then ambient mode turns on the microphones to pump in the outside noise. It's essentially the opposite of noise cancelling, and is a spatial awareness feature that allows you to hear your surroundings. Honestly, I couldn't tell the difference between the office and travel modes, and neither works noticeably better than the other, so this doesn't give the headphones any noteworthy advantage. The ambient mode, however, is a really cool feature, and being able to hear your surroundings is a big benefit over the Tribit QuietPlus. In terms of battery life, both headphones are offering a generous 30 hours of playback, but it's not made clear that this is with ANC turned off. I tested both headphones in full with multiple devices and with ANC both on and off. The QuietPlus averaged just over 30 hours with ANC off, and 17 hours with ANC turned on, performing slightly better on iOS than Android. The SoundSurge 55 averaged a few hours under the recommended 30 at just 24 hours 46. Again lasting a bit longer on iOS than Android. But interestingly, these performed better than Tribit with ANC turned on, reaching an average playback time of 21.5 hours. You could always just listen with ANC off for the better battery life, especially since this doesn't really add much to noise cancelling. Another point to mention is that the TaoTronics headphones low battery prompt occurs every 3 minutes during the final 10 minutes of playback, so isn't especially intrusive, which is exactly how the low battery warning should be done. The Tribit headphones, however, appear to give the low power warning at random intervals, between 30 seconds and 3 minutes. But the worst part is that this starts way too early during playback, and can last for more than an hour, which really interrupts your music and is quite annoying. When it comes to charging, both headphones use the modern USB-C connector, which is really good to see. Now, Tribit don't claim to offer fast charging, but the QuietPlus still provided over an hour and a half of playback after a quick 5-minute charge, with the full charge completing in around 2 hours 40. TaoTronics do advertise a fast charging of 2 hours playback after 5 minutes of charging, and actually exceeded this from my testing. The full charge time completed in around 3 hours, which wouldn't normally be noteworthy, except for the fact that they were advertising a super fast 45-minute charge time on Amazon and their website. I reached out to TaoTronics about this, who actually apologised and said they'd update their Amazon listings, which fortunately does seem to have been done for the US and UK sites. The confusion supposedly came from the fact that other headphones in their lineup offer this feature, and I appreciate that with Amazon listings especially, you can't necessarily trust that all of the information is accurate. Tribit QuietPlus are listed as IPX5 waterproof, for example, which I'm sure isn't true. But it's strange that the charging error still stood on TaoTronics' own website even at the time of writing this video. This could end up being quite misleading for customers, who may want to purchase these headphones specifically for this seemingly crazy fast charge time. For connectivity, these both performed really well, as good as, and in some areas better, than flagship models. They used Bluetooth 5 and gave me really good coverage in my home, staying connected through multiple walls, and the performance was essentially the same for both. They also gave almost no latency at all, perhaps the slightest amount on YouTube on iOS devices, which is pretty typical, but I'd still recommend both of these for watching videos. They both support the lower latency aptX codec too, which Android users will be able to benefit from. But the best part about the connectivity is that they both support multi-device pairing, allowing you to have an active connection to 2 devices at the same time. With 2 devices connected, you can simply pause your music on one device, start playing on another, and the connection will automatically switch over. Now the drawback here is that this can take up to 10 seconds to switch over, which is not only a bit disconcerting, but your audio continues playing during the switchover, so you'll miss a bit of the song or podcast you're listening to. The switchover is normally a much faster process. However, it's also extremely rare to have this feature at all, and even the best ANC headphones on the market don't support this, so it's a welcome addition. When you're connected to 2 devices, the headphones will activate the voice assistant only on the first device. But when you receive a phone call, you'll be able to answer them from either device, which is really cool. There isn't a 10-second delay here either, which could have been an issue, so they both work really well with multiple devices. I think it's more likely you'll be paired to a phone and computer or tablet than 2 different phones, but it's good to know that this works for whichever setup you have. Speaking of phone calls, you can of course use the microphones on the headphones to make phone calls. This is typically one of the weaker areas of headphones, but the Tribit QuietPlus performed well and actually sounded really clear. Both headphones use CVC8 noise cancelling to try to isolate your voice from the background noise, and though my voice remained clear, the caller could still hear sounds in the background like passing traffic. The SoundSurge headphones were much worse for phone calls, and you can hear that they're significantly quieter, to the point where the caller struggled to hear me. The headphones were pretty similar in terms of clarity, but there's obviously a huge difference with the volume, so if phone calls are going to be important for you, Tribit QuietPlus are the much better choice. So the final and perhaps most important point to consider is the audio quality. I think if not the noise cancelling, then this is the aspect that really separates these budget headphones from the premium models. The SoundSurge 55 in particular are lacking in clarity, and have quite a muddy, warm sound signature. The bass is actually pretty decent, and a strength of these headphones, but there's just not enough separation or soundstage to complement this. Tribit QuietPlus, by comparison, are much cleaner, and have far better separation. Vocals sound a lot more crisp, and details are easier to pick out. I think they also have a slightly warm sound signature, but there's a better balance here, though the bass isn't quite as prominent. So if you really want bass, then I'd go with the TaoTronics, but if you want a cleaner and essentially higher quality experience, then go with Tribit. Again, there really is a big difference from those higher end, more expensive options. So whilst these cheaper brands can match, and sometimes exceed them, in terms of connectivity or battery life, you do get a better audio experience with the higher price tier headphones. Overall, I was pretty impressed with the quality these headphones are offering in this price range. I think there are 3 distinct features that were either missing or were poorer quality compared to higher end options: the noise cancelling performance, the audio quality, and also the feature set. The majority of flagship models come with a companion app that gives you access to additional controls, customization, and extra features. so if audio quality and noise cancelling are really important to you, it is still worth spending more for this. But for the sake of saving, in some cases more than $200, I can definitely see why these headphones are so popular, and the trade-off of missing some premium features is often compensated by the huge savings. There was obviously quite a lot to cover in this review, so to make things a bit easier, I've summarised the results in each category to give you a breakdown of the headphone's performance. It's really going to come down to which factors you prioritise as to which headphones are better overall. Tribit QuietPlus took the lead with comfort, microphone quality, and offered a cleaner audio experience. TaoTronics SoundSurge 55 had a more premium design, better isolation and ANC performance, and a more bass-heavy sound signature. For me personally, Tribit QuietPlus ticked more of the right boxes for what I look for in headphones, and at the same price, I'd probably choose these over TaoTronics headphones. But with these Amazon brands, the prices are constantly fluctuating, so price might become the deciding factor. At the time of writing this review, Tribit's headphones were cheaper in the US, but not the UK, and TaoTronics headphones sometimes crept just above the $100 mark. But I'll leave links with the most updated prices down in the video description. Be sure to let me know in the comments which of these you preferred, and also if you think there's a better pair of ANC headphones in this price range, or that you'd like to see me review next. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.